We are on, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Squared Circle, the defenders of indie wrestling. We're here, we are live. We're ready to roll. Ruckus is not here this week.
Yay!
On assignment. And soon to be, my earpiece will not be here this week neither. But, in any event, sitting in for Ruckus, the Professor, Bill Thompson.
Hello.
Hello. The Professor, Bill Thompson.
With my
Look at that.
Richard Holiday.
Richard
t-shirt.
Holiday. T-shirt.
Exclusive Richard Holiday
Get-
t-shirt.
They're almost gone.
These things are selling like hotcakes.
Right.
It's because he's the New York's finest asset.
Right. And then upstate New York's finest asset, Dangerous Dan Hoff.
Okay, I was wondering where we're going to divide that line.
It's more like Canada's. But
Right,
we'll go,
right. He's closer to Canada
We'll
than
go
it.
closer to Canada.
Right. What a great time we had over the weekend.
Yeah. What a
Empowerment.
empowerment.
It was-
PW.
It was empowerment. It was empowering.
It was empowering. It was a great show. Just another great show put on by those guys. Mario Mancini and his team down there, just Paul Roma. Everybody just put together this great card, and we had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's and it seemed like that place was pretty packed,
Right.
and I got there a little bit later than I normally do, but when you walked in, you were like, wow, there's a ton of
I actually
people
got there before you.
Really? I
Yeah.
was picking somebody up,
Oh.
so, and I was
Wow.
still there on time.
I was picking somebody up too.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Hey.
It doesn't count. You could be on time for the rest of your life and you still don't make up for all the late. No, but a great show. We had a
Great
good time
show.
and got to speak to a lot of nice people at the end of the show, during the show, during the intermission, and again, just I tell you, the shows just keep on getting better and better.
Mhm.
I don't know,
The crowd size keeps getting bigger and bigger too.
bigger and bigger. They got a great venue.
Mhm.
I think that's like it's their home.
Right.
Which is a nice thing to be able to say, this is where we go every week or every month. So it would be nice if it was every week, but then some of us would be divorced at that point. It would be
Yeah.
every Saturday. So. But no, just a great show top to bottom. You got some great footage, I know. And
We got some great footage we'll be showing later on. We've
Yep.
got a jam-packed show with footage.
jam-packed.
Right. Jam-packed. We got 3 matches. We got 3 matches. I got 2 interviews, and he got an interview.
Wow. Somebody actually wanted to talk to you at the show?
They did.
Oh, okay.
Right. It happens once in a blue moon.
Yeah, somebody who doesn't really know him that well.
Right.
So, but what matches do you have on the hand there?
We have, for the Center Ring Divas Championship,
Oh my goodness.
we have Tequila Rose defending against Candy Cartwright.
That Candy Cartwright is a Spitfire. First
Mhm.
time seeing her. Very, very impressed
Right.
with her. She did an amazing job, and
She did.
I'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. Well, we can't show exactly what we have, but I have an interview afterwards with the winner.
Yes. So if you put
Of
2
that.
and 2 together,
Right.
you should be able to figure it out.
Right.
If you can't figure it out, then you shouldn't watch the shows.
Right.
Well, you could still watch it. Just maybe we'll feed you a little bit more. What other matches do you have?
We also have the grudge match. Everybody remembers Ty Shine interfering in that ladder match main event
Yep.
from Invasion, which some argue was the reason why Marcel Williams wound up with the Intercontinental title. Some argue. I don't think so. I think he just won it on his own. But
Yeah, that was that ladder match was just the ladder match from that last show, and then the Bobby Ocean, Richard Holiday
from this show.
chain match,
Mhm.
and we got to spend a little bit of time after the show speaking to both of those guys, and of course I was buying a T-shirt. So for those exclusive fans, we get to buy the T-shirt.
Mhm.
You just can't go up to him and say, "Hey, I want to buy a T-shirt." He has to vet you.
Well, of
He has
course.
to check you out. On that night, I was wearing a jacket, dress shirt, and a bow tie.
Right.
So he
It's
said,
extreme vetting.
"You're okay. I'll sell you a shirt."
You got to be careful nowadays.
That's it.
Well, he set the standards very high. He only sells to the finest of people, the best of the best.
Right.
I noticed you didn't
Coup
get a
de
shirt.
grace.
I noticed you didn't get a
No,
shirt.
I
though.
didn't get a shirt.
Yeah,
No.
maybe next time. Maybe there'll be some ones that are regulars, and we'll give you one. Of
Maybe.
those, yeah. But no, Richard Holiday, Bobby Ocean, great match. I know we have some highlights from it. I won't spoil anything, but yeah, they both. That steel chain took a toll on them, and we were both all saying that wasn't a little make-believe lightweight
No.
chain. That was a chain that you would put on. Something that you don't want going anywhere. you
Right,
know?
right.
And if you were lucky enough to be at the arena that night and watching the moves and watching the match, that chain was flying around. And some people, I know Holiday was a little banged up. We know Bobby Ocean was a little banged up. But again, they put their hearts out there. And I think you got to say an awful lot. It's Richard Holiday, is the champion still.
Right.
But Bobby Ocean just always. You get such a good match from him all the time. I don't think I've ever seen a bad match.
Bobby Ocean is a decorated veteran around.
Right. Bobby Ocean's definitely a student of the game. I've been at cards with Jay where Bobby isn't even booked for a match, but he'll show up to watch the
Yes,
matches of the
he
other
will.
competitors.
He's been known to do that with PvP on many occasions and other companies.
Yeah, we've
Right.
seen him so many times, and always very
Right.
cordial.
Yep.
I don't know, he must have spent about 25 minutes with us after
Just
the
talking
show,
to us, yes.
after the show.
Right.
And again, Richard Holiday showing that he's not ducking anybody either.
No.
He's putting together a pretty good resume of people he's wrestling, and people he's taken on, and they're throwing these.
He's not long in the business, neither.
No,
And he's
no.
caught on quick.
Yeah.
Well, he's not ducking anybody, but you think he would have been smart enough to duck the chain a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a match that you just looked at and you said that's just got to be very painful. So
Just something unusual about that chain match compared to other chain matches. Usually I'm used to, I thought that the rules for a chain match where you tag all four corners, you
Yeah.
drag your opponent around all four corners of the ring, and that's
No.
how you win.
yeah, I think that's and I might not be correct, but I know there's been a chain match with like they used to call it the four corners match.
Right.
So I'm not sure how that evolves, but
Maybe
I
they
think-
have to specify it as a
Yeah.
four corners.
I think all you have to do is specify that it's a chain match, and then
Right.
that's it.
Right.
It's like whatever
Mhm.
happens at that point. And both of them came out, like I said, a little banged up, but they'll be ready to rock and roll for the next time. So look forward to seeing when's their next show.
Their next show is
I have it here. I just
March
don't-
11th?
Looks like March 11th. And
March
what's it-
18th at 7 p.m.
March
March
18th.
18th.
March 18th. I stand corrected. March 11th is a PvP show. March 18th is Thrillo at Malillo.
Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be another good one.
Right.
But we had a great time talking to people. Mario again, gracious host for us. Some of us got cake.
Right.
I'm not gonna say who.
I was full.
I got a piece of cake that I have to say to Mr. Mancini. Oh my God, I had to hit the treadmill for like an hour and a half the next day.
Right.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, listen, if he decides to stop doing anything wrestling wise, he opens up his own bakery. He's gonna make a killing.
Mario's Bakery.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
So, what's some of the other footage you have?
That's all I have. That's about 30 minutes. It's going to come down to.
And so far booked for that card on the 18th. There's going to be an intergender match with Richard Holiday, the reigning champion, Tequila Rose versus Candy Cartwright, and a mystery partner yet to be announced.
Mm-hmm.
They're back. They did a Thrillo in Manila last year, and they're back again this year live from Joseph Milillo Middle School in East Haven, Connecticut. They're coming off, as we're speaking about, a historic night at Empowerment on February 4th. They promised to deliver another action-packed night of classic professional wrestling matches to be announced soon. However, scheduled to be appearing on that card is the PAPW or Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling Champion Richard Holiday, Mateus, who's great in the ring, Tag Team Champions the House of Pain,
Yep.
Ty Shine, Sergeant Murray, who's a good friend of ours,
Right.
Intercontinental Champion Marcel Williams, who unfortunately has Jay's last name, R.J. Rude, Candy Cartwright, Tequila Rose, and more. And Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling is owned and operated by former WWE superstars Paul Roma and Mario Mancini.
Right.
Very good.
So there, you go to that school, you're going to learn
Yeah.
from
yeah.
two of the best.
Right.
Yeah, and
Right.
I think one of the things we should talk about too is what was it? You know, they talk about the show empowerment, but a lot of the a lot of the emphasis was on the veterans for that.
Yes.
And
There was a lot of money raised for Mission 22,
yes, yes,
which is to stop veteran suicide.
yes,
Well, there should be not only one wrestling card, but there should be much more emphasis placed on the veterans who have bravely stepped up and served our country. Many of those veterans, without getting too political, are homeless, sleeping outside, going without meals,
Right.
and to have that this day and time, this day and age,
There should be no call for that.
is
Yeah.
very heartbreaking.
Right.
yeah. And I think it speaks a lot to what they're doing there to get that whole charity piece as part of the
Right,
show.
right.
And really to focus in on. I mean, there were a ton of veterans there. You know, you got to meet some really great people, got to shake some hands. You know, and again, it was just a really good time. And you know, there's you could just see things. There was one specific, you know, when you and I were talking about during the Marcel Williams and Kenny Roberts match, which at some point I hope we have some highlights of. But at the end of that match, I thought it was really interesting. We were sitting there, and there were some people that came out that knew Kenny Roberts, who was a very nice guy, and a couple of children went in the ring, and then before you know it, what we had?
We had a whole bunch of children in the ring.
There must have been 25, 30 kids running in the ring. They were coming down from the stands. You thought they were giving away candy bars in that ring, but the kids were all running around, and I think that's the really big connection that they're starting to get there, and I think it speaks a lot to the talent. And Kenny Roberts, just a really fun guy to be around, you know, to talk to. I actually saw him at the gym about 2 weeks ago, and he recognized me on the treadmill as I'm huffing away. He
Right.
was waving to me, and at the second, I was like, oh my God, this is who it is, as I'm trying not to fall off the treadmill.
Right.
But we had a nice conversation. Marcel Williams continues to just show his stuff. Very impressed with him. So again, you know, good stuff coming out of there. What else you got?
Yeah, and it's pretty impressive when a wrestling organization that, due to the mainstream media, wrestling organizations often get a bad knock, a bad rep. They'll step up and they'll do stuff like this to help the veterans. And there's also another card coming up. They're supporting, they're involved with to help people afflicted with autism.
Right. That one is in April. It is April 22nd.
April 22nd, Knockout Autism. And that's, you know, there's a partnership between the gentleman who's doing that, James Raymond, and PAPW. So they're helping him out with that show, which, very nice young man. I was able to spend a little bit of time with him, you know, getting to the show. But he's putting together a good card.
Right.
You know, and you got a lot of the guys from PAPW are going to be there. You got some of the folks from PWA.
PWA, yeah, they're
from
going to have some
what we see.
representation.
Yep. You know, I think it goes on, and just, you know, if you haven't gotten to the point where you're, you know, I think we've put quite a bit out on that. But if you haven't got a chance to at least try to buy your tickets, pre-order your tickets, I think next show he's going to set up a little bit more of a, you know, an area where he has a table and it's a little bit easier to get to him. So you have kind of a focus area where he can be involved. But, you know, it just, you know, you know, it just seems like it's kind of all coming full circle there. So it's really good, and, you know, just very impressed with the group, and glad that, you know, we really get to spend some really good time, and just a group of generous folks there, people taking out time just to talk to us before, during the intermission, after the show. So again, just a really great group of people there. So, and they make cake.
And they make cake.
So,
And the professor likes cake.
Oh my God.
YBYL.
That's it. It wasn't like a piece. It was like he cut off a chunk of cake and said, "Here you go." And I was like, "Oh my God." So thank God I didn't eat any dinner that day. So that was my dinner.
So I'm just waiting for word from the guys in back.
Okay.
They're telling me about 2 to 3 minutes, so we'll get to that We'll get to that as soon as it is available to us, in apparently another 2 or 3 minutes. So
Right. So we just we'd once again like to thank Mario Mancini and Paul Roma and that whole bunch for getting involved and doing these projects, and
James Raymond.
for putting his cart together to help people in the community afflicted with autism. Depending on where people are in the spectrum, they face life with daily challenges. It's never easy. If you know anybody that has a disability or friends, family, whatever, they need the help. They need the help. They often don't want to step up and
Ask for help.
for lack of embarrassment. So it's definitely good when these projects come forth out of the light. And I just want to make sure we thank Mario Mancini and Paul Roma for doing this type of cards. Because
absolutely.
we can't go out of our way to thank them enough, and we have volunteered to put up flyers, distribute posters, do anything that we can as a wrestling organization, news media, to assist with these upcoming projects.
Right.
Yeah. And the wrestling.
When you just support and defend indie wrestling,
Yeah.
that's what you do.
Yeah.
You help out.
Right. We get that. In speaking of our supporting indie wrestling, our good friend Wrecking Ball Legursky's had some good news.
I understand he has had a tryout
Yeah.
at the WWE Performance Center.
I saw some pictures.
That makes 2 people that you've either seen in studio here, or in Wrecking Ball's case, seen in studio and seen in footage.
Yeah.
And Kimberly, who is, I believe, in NXT now, correct?
Yep.
Right. We've seen footage of her
Yep.
on this telecast before.
Yeah. From
From
the Wrestle Jams
Right.
shows. Yeah.
Right.
And just yeah, you know what? I think John had sent me something, and I looked at it, and he said that Wrecking Ball's down in
the Performance Center.
Performance Center, and we're all associated with him on Facebook. And he had put something about flying down to Orlando, which sometimes you don't really put 2 and 2 together.
Right.
Sometimes it's a little bit long. But what happened is, as I'm looking at the picture, I'm saying to myself, I'm looking and I go, that's Wrecking Ball, obviously. But then you look, to the left-hand side, and you had Rude Boy Riley was there.
As well.
Yes, probably about 2 people over. And there was also somebody else whose name eludes me at this time. But I'm going, hey, these are 2 people that we've seen wrestle.
We've seen Rude Boy Riley
a number of times.
everywhere.
Yeah, and he's been, from Blitzkrieg to Tier 1, Paragon out of Las Vegas he was working with, which Anthony Green does a lot of stuff with them. So, we were just, we're just lucky to get to see all the people we see. And at the beginning of their career, it's like, like when you see that band, and you're saying, you use like U2 as an example, and it's that smaller band, and then they blow up and they're worldwide now, and you're like, I remember when. So I think he's got just a devastating wrestler. Always is nice to us. So we're on his good side, I guess, so we won't get power
Yeah.
bombed. But just a great talent, and it's just really nice to see some of this stuff. Of course, you like to see these folks stay here, and you like to see them wrestle because you have a personal relationship, and they're involved with different shows.
Right. And you see them around, but
You got to let them go sometimes. So
yeah, it's the evolution of the business.
it is.
Right. You don't want to stay where you are forever. You want to move on. You want to do what's best for your career.
Yeah.
What's best for business.
That's why just the best thing is to support these guys. I mean, listen, we don't talk about the WWE that much. you know, not because we don't want to, but, you know, we're looking at more of the independent stuff.
Mhm.
But, you know, some of these folks are working full-time jobs.
Absolutely.
And then doing this as a full-time profession also, and driving hundreds of miles, you know, on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. Some people are doing stuff, taking plane flights where they're going away for a week or two to do some tapings and do some matches and do some tournaments. The Sea Stars.
Saturday, February 18th, the Sea Stars. CombatQueens.com. This is a tournament they're going to in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. And the Sea Stars just did National Wrestling Day.
with
I think-
Chikara.
With Chikara, they were featured with I don't know if it was a four-way dance because I didn't get to see the whole match, but there was the Sea Stars, and then they were wrestling Space Monkey,
Right.
who's pretty well known in this area, and then a new person out of Chikara. I think he was called the Piranha,
Right.
if I was correct. So again, you know, we're seeing these folks at different shows, and it's really great. Our, you know, good friend of the show, Jeremy Leary,
Mm-hmm.
is doing some wrestling with Chikara now too.
Yes,
So,
yes, he is.
so again, it's just like you
He's
look.
a
it's-
very busy man.
yeah, I don't know how he does it.
Right.
I don't know how he does it. So I don't know how a lot of these guys do.
Mm-hmm.
I know how Richard Holiday does it. He makes these nice shirts. So.
Right.
And a lot of them have nice careers to fall back on if they're you know, if they got to college and
Mhm.
got their education to fall back on to because a stigma that, you know, wrestlers often has is, okay, well, they can only do that because they're uneducated. Well, if you look at Wrecking Ball, for instance, he's a social worker.
Right.
So he's a well-educated person. He's got a heart of gold. We've seen him interact with children. He just lights up when the children want to come up to him and you know.
As long as you're not in the ring with them, you're all right.
Well,
Right.
yeah, as long as you know.
Once you hit the ring, you're on your own. So don't call him Wrecking Ball for nothing. So
Right.
so
No, March 5th we have Chikara in
yeah.
Enfield
we got
and Blitzkrieg
a
in Enfield.
March 5th is a very busy day for us. Now you got
And March 4th is the big event.
the big event,
Right.
and then the big event. Are you going somewhere after the big event?
Not sure yet.
Not sure.
Yeah.
Let people know that you might be there, or you're not sure.
Don't know what I'm doing after the big event.
All right. So we'll leave it at that.
Right.
But Sunday, March 5th, we got you know, a double shot.
We got, it's called The Empty Child.
Empty Child with Chikara out of Enfield. What's it called up there? The country
The Old Country Banquet
facility.
Facility, something like that. Old Country Banquet in Delhi, 4 Olden Avenue.
Yeah, great venue.
That's right on Olden Avenue.
Yeah, literally right there. And if you're not paying attention, you'll like, that looks like somebody's house. But it's huge, great place.
It doesn't look like what it really is. It's a wedding facility, and it does not look it.
No, you don't really see it till you get inside. You're like, wow. And a lot of great Blitzkrieg shows there. Chikara's going to be there. I think it's from 2 to 5.
Right.
And then Blitzkrieg, I think, is from 6 to 9:30. So
6 to 9:30 with Life Can't Wait or Life Won't Wait. I'm probably butchering
yeah,
the name.
You probably are.
I think Veda Scott's supposed to be
Veda
there.
Scott will be there. East Coast Bastard Crew.
I think, isn't Marty Jannetty?
Marty Jannetty, Dijak, Anthony Green.
Yeah. So
So,
again, another loaded.
right.
Marty
Marty who? Isn't he?
Jannetty.
Oh,
Jannetty.
that's the guy that got super kicked through the window, right?
Right,
Yes,
yes,
it
yes.
is. Yeah.
You remember that
And
back in the day.
I have it on good authority, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, but you know, maybe, you know, we're gonna get to see friend of the show, Dasher Hatfield will be there, and
That's for the Empty Child.
for the Empty Child. But who knows? Maybe he's gonna stay around and say, you know what,
Right,
old time baseball, you know.
right.
Sidney Bacabella maybe is gonna be at that show.
It could be a both.
He could just move to Enfield and just do all the shows there.
Right.
Yeah, so, but he's also going to be at I think he's making his first appearance at Limitless Wrestling up out of Maine. He's going to be doing that on March 17th.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be on that show. He's kind of alluded to the fact he'd be there. But Limitless has a great show coming up, and like I said, March 17th. That's a Friday, and I don't know the exact venue, but Ricochet and Matt Sydal are going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm looking at maybe trying to get to that show. I'm not sure how I'll work it out, but it is a Friday, and sometimes when I'm traveling, I might be able to get to that area. But again, this area's just got a lot of hotbed for a lot of wrestling, man. So
Mm-hmm.
the New England, New York, Pennsylvania area has just got a lot of stuff going on. So
It's
they
just-
have footage in the back here?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't think they can hear me, or I think they're on break.
Yeah.
I think they went on a coffee break.
Zach's sleeping.
It's a union. It's just a union shop, you know.
Yeah.
Right. Once
So-
that they go, you know.
Like the Flintstones.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
What
I'm
else?
sure he'll let me know what's going on.
don't we have some Impact news?
Impact.
Right. We like we defend the indies and support the indies certainly, but we also like to when there's major news from the quote unquote the big leagues, WWE, the former TNA, which is now Impact Wrestling, because they're choosing to drop the Anthem. The new owners are choosing to drop the TNA letters from it, and they're just going solely under the Anthem Wrestling. They have some new digital productions that they're putting out, and also they're bringing back Scott D'Amore, former manager in TNA and former head of creative. They're bringing him back, and it was announced yesterday that they're also going to be working with Noah.
Yeah.
For anybody who's familiar with Noah Wrestling
Out of Japan.
out of Japan,
Yeah.
they're going to be working with them, which will give them more players.
Yeah.
They're going to be cutting back their filming. When they film, they're going to be cutting it back instead of 5 days, and try to film for 5 days. They're going to cut it back for 4 days,
Mm-hmm.
which they feel will allow their creative department to do more things creatively, and let their talent have, a little time off, a little break,
Yeah.
and be able to do things more because they want to be. And here's what a lot of people haven't done in the past. TNA was never created to be competition for WWE. TNA always stated they were an alternative. Well, this is what Anthem Wrestling also wants to do, is they want to be an alternative. This is why they're on a different night than WWE. They're not going head to head with SmackDown.
Right. Just give you an alternative product.
Right, because lots of people out there like Lucha Underground.
They'd rather have you
They
tune
like-
in on Thursday night to them than Monday or Tuesday.
Right, because there's so many wrestling products out there like
Right.
Lucha Underground,
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. There's, if you get the Access Station, there's from I think it's New Japan. Of course, there's going to be Anthem Wrestling.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
If you have Twitter, you can look us up. We have a Twitter page out there, and they also are using Twitter to put their digital shows on, which they're releasing on a regular schedule. I believe one of the is called Inside the Ring, and it's kind of like they sit down with the talent. For instance, they could sit down with Earl Hebner,
Right.
and he would tell you all about his background, his road stories, and you get to know their personalities better instead of, hey, that's just another ref.
Yeah.
Right.
And his son's down there too.
Right.
Yeah. So they've been refereeing for a long time.
We are all set with, by the way.
All right, so just cut me off. Go to the footage.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Here we are.
This is Dangerous Dan Hoff out here tonight at Paradise Alley Wrestling in East Haven, Connecticut. I bumped into one of the attendees here, Nick. Nick, I believe this is your first or second time at this event?
Absolutely, it's fantastic. Anybody wants to come down, see some independent wrestling action, PAPW, they do a great job. Fantastic card from start to finish.
What was your favorite match on the card tonight, Nick?
I like the chain match. I like seeing Richard Holiday get banged up a little with the chain. Well deserved.
What do you think of the fan interaction level?
I think it was great. There's a lot of fans out here. The place was packed. They come out during intermission, they're signing autographs, showing around everybody, selling T-shirts, getting to know everybody. It's a lot more family friendly.
And did you feel that the price you paid to get in is well worth the admission fee?
Oh, it's well worth it. I mean, if anybody's watching, the made-up drama stuff on Monday and Tuesday nights and want to see some real wrestling, real cheap, PAPW is the way to go.
All right. Well, Nick, I thank you very certainly for your time.
Thank you very much.
And I look forward to seeing you at the matches next month.
I'll be there again. Thank you.
As you go through the match here. Listen, anybody who's in the ring who is wrestling, I give a ton of credit to. But, it's like Ronda Rousey, underestimates an opponent and maybe thinks, hey, you know what, this person's not as good as they've been, or she hasn't seen enough footage. So I think that's what happens a lot of times, and I think this might be one of those situations here.
Well, Rose has had this belt for over a year now.
Yeah.
Right.
Who did she defeat for this belt?
Nobody.
Nobody.
It was it was created.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I really don't, we weren't involved with Paradise Alley Wrestling at the time.
Okay.
So, to tell you the truth, who she defeated, there was no actual, the belt was created. I don't know who she defeated, if it was given to her, honestly.
That was a nice shot there, though. You know what? This
I'll have to ask Mr. Mancini.
Joey DiNucci trying to cause some type of interference out there.
And I'll tell you what, this goes back to Candia Cartwright's ring savvy. I mean, she was talking to DiNucci, but you could tell she was keeping an eye on Tequila Rose. And when she got that quick opportunity, she jumped in. And she's not she's a tough candidate. She was playing to the crowd a little bit, but she was really just doing. If you look at it, I think she had a very good game plan going in. I think she was pretty much, hey, I know if I could win this match, and tried to get a pinfall there. You got DiNucci out there pounding on the canvas.
Oh
Nice
yeah,
leg lock here. This is a really good move. And when I saw this, I said if Tequila Rose doesn't tap, I was just surprised she did not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because she's basically turning her back into a pretzel. And Tequila kind of broke the hold a little bit. She was able to sneak her leg out. Danucci's out there encouraging her. You know, the old saying, "Pain is temporary."
Right.
You know, so I think she's like, if I could just hold on long enough without passing out, and see, eventually the hold gets broken. So you know, and that becomes frustrating to someone who was trying to, like, nice taking her head and banging it into the canvas there.
Mm-hmm.
So for just a little bit of extra credit, hey, I just almost broke your spinal cord, but let me just bang your head into the ground. So, and I was surprised how good she was with her feet.
Right.
You know?
Look at this.
So, but you know what? Here you go. Tequila getting her, taking her around, and then that was a devastating move. And this
Look
is
at-
when I thought the match was over.
Right. There you thought Tequila was just wrapping up yet another victory.
Yeah, but again,
Right.
you know, but I think the match went a little bit longer than maybe she thought, and I think that's where, you know, Candy Cartwright, you know, maybe, and I think a big thing is she probably hasn't seen her wrestle quite a bit. Maybe not a lot of footage of her. So
Right.
you don't really know what you're getting into when you're wrestling this person. So
And
When
here's,
you've had a belt for over a year, you just get comfortable wearing it,
yes,
and you just think that you're just going to be unstoppable.
yeah.
I mean, it's not-
Ooh, what a nice move there.
A lot of champions, get that way. It's not necessarily anything she did,
Yeah,
just
and Miss Cartwright, she's very
Right.
quick.
right, she's very agile, and,
Yeah.
she certainly uses those well-educated feet.
right.
And this is from the last, I think, the last 3 times we've seen Tequila Rose wrestle. This is a different competitor than what she's. Most of them have been a little bit more roughhouse style,
Right.
punch, kick,
Yep.
throws. Here, you know, you got a lot of agility here, and the match was just that much quicker.
Mhm.
And nice, flip there again. You know.
Right, we've seen Tequila
Yeah.
Tequila Rose go against the likes of Toxis, who is a
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice 619 there. Oh, I don't know if you called the 619 here. Maybe you called it 203 or
Right.
So, but again, look at, she's going high.
Well, she's from Long Island, so whatever the Long Island area code is,
287.
287.
I don't know. I'm just making these things up here.
Right.
So. But again, high flying. She's not doing a lot of crazy moves, but she's definitely working the ropes. She's coming off, and you can tell she's got some confidence there. You got the referee in the way.
right.
Referees, they're always in the way.
Right.
Candy certainly seems to have.
Well, again, another athletic move there. Joseph Danucci pulling his hair out of his head.
Right. Well, Joey's certainly the one of the best managers on the independent scene today, if not the best.
He may very well.
He may very well be. He does so much for whoever he's managing.
Yeah.
Right. He puts
nice
them over.
clothesline there by Tequila. Another nice.
Mm-hmm.
She's going back to this harder style.
Right.
Nice. A nice kick there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think the longer the match went,
Nice bulldog.
it pays off to Candy's conditioning.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you start to get the frustration factor.
Right.
Because I think in some of her matches, some of that stuff would have worked there. Here's Danucci being underhanded.
Right.
As he.
I think that Rose is getting a little bit
Now-
desperate
Now, now
because she's seeing the
I
tide
don't,
of change.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Joey's just standing over there in the corner. The ref is blocking his view. I don't know what you're talking about.
So it's a nice shot here. She had it, and that's where it goes.
And
That's
where
there.
things just turn around.
Yep.
We have an exclusive
Ooh.
interview with the winner of this match. I want to just make sure that everybody can hear this, so if they could turn up the volume.
And the
This
control.
evening, we had a title change here tonight. The Paradise Alley Centering Divas Championship has changed hands.
Oh yeah.
It is Tequila Rose is no longer the champion. Here we have the new champion, Candy Cartwright.
The cutie pie Candy Cartwright. And I just want to say that this belt will look amazing around my waist for many more months to come. You don't have to worry about that.
I can't believe I am here with the Center Ring Divas champion. Candy Cartwright.
Oh yeah, it must be very exciting for you. I'm so happy.
It's very exciting. This is a great belt. I love this belt.
Right? It's so shiny. It's gonna look perfect.
Look at that.
Right here.
Get a look at that belt. It's just amazing.
You know, I'm surprised at how easy it was to get this tonight. Like, that was so easy.
I've known Tequila Rose for a couple years now, and I've seen her, here in Paradise Alley, and I'm a little surprised she lost. She lost so soon, but I mean,
I wasn't. I don't lose.
she doesn't lose. Where else can we find you?
You can find me at the Cutie Pie Candy Cartwright on Instagram, Cutie Pie Candy Cartwright on Twitter, and Facebook.com/Cutie Pie Candy Cartwright.
And I'm going to invite you to the studios in North Haven, Connecticut, and HTV to be a guest on the Squared Circle.
And I would love to be a guest. I would love to brighten up your program with my perfect face. It would be an honor.
I think you
For
would.
you.
And bring the belt, too.
Of course. It's not going to leave my side.
No. It's hers. YBYL.
And we're back.
We're back.
So you could assume, looking at towards the end of the match, not the actual end, and then seeing your interview there.
Uh-huh.
Although we said it, you said it. It was a good interview.
It was a great interview.
Yeah.
That's a great belt.
Yeah, it is a great belt. That's a nice belt.
It is a nice belt.
You know, when you get to see it up close, you're like,
Right,
they
it's
did
it's
they
amazing.
did a nice job with that.
They did.
You know, so kudos to Center Ring.
Right. I mean, it looks very, very much similar, like our television title, PWA.
PWA.
It's the PWA Squared Circle television title, but right, this one's a different color. It's kind of almost a similar design.
I think both. Unless you get to like the WWE or TNA or maybe a few older, I don't think the belts really change all that much.
No.
I think now, compared to when you go back into the 80s, maybe the 70s, the belts were so much different.
Right.
You know, and I think, listen, from my perspective, if you have a belt and it says champion on it, you're a champion and that's your belt.
Yeah. Right.
You know? So that's what you just have to say at that point. Is like, she did a fabulous job. Look forward to. I'm sure there's got to be a rematch in there. So Rose is going to go back, look at the video,
And she's gonna start training like you wouldn't believe.
Training, and she's going to come back, and then you get a rematch. So I think now the shoe's on the other foot, because the hunter becomes the hunted,
Right.
or however that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And but
If she does start hitting that gym, I think watch out,
yeah,
because Rose is gonna come back.
yeah. I
A
think-
lot more aggressive than she already is.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And there was a couple of tipping points in that match,
Mhm.
and something didn't work out the way they wanted it to. So if you take that away, who knows how the match would have gone.
Right.
And Jay's still excited from that interview. His hair standing straight up.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
You
And she
know.
was gracious enough to give us an interview too. So.
Right. I never thought we'd ever show the Center Ring Divas Championship on this telecast.
Well, we're pretty lucky. We get to talk to a lot of people, and if you treat people nice and are professional, you get the good things happen. So
Good things happen, exactly.
And they were gracious enough to let us interview her also. So
We had a couple other matches. They're gonna have to let me know what's going on with them because we're running a little low on time.
we're running low on time. So what do we have? Richard Holiday match.
We had Ty Shine and Matthias. We have Richard Holiday and Bobby Ocean.
Oh, okay.
But we have till March 18th.
We do have till March.
And we have plenty of other. Actually, those two matches, the Matthias and Tay Shine, and Richard Holiday and Bobby Ocean. If you want to go to our Squared Circle page later on this evening, I will have those. Plus, if you want to just watch in amazement again at Tequila Rose and Candy Cartwright, you can do that as well. So we'll have those matches available on the Squared Circle page.
Good.
Little incentive to go to us. You can find us on Facebook at the Squared Circle.
Yeah. Hey,
It's
listen, we always
it's open group.
Open
Go
group.
ahead, request to join. We'll gladly add you.
Yeah, we're always looking to have extra people.
Exactly.
It's always nice to see people who watch the show, and there are people who go on YouTube and look at the video, and say that talk about the show and appreciate what we do. So listen, again, I think it goes without saying, this area is a hotbed of wrestling, and we're lucky, because we're able to do this show. You have Center Ring out of Wallingford. They're doing a show, so you're getting a lot of people. And I'll be honest with you, with the exception of those two shows, their show and the show we do here, I don't know if there's anything else in Connecticut where this is being done. So you got
Public access wise,
Yeah.
I mean, you got podcasts, webcasts.
yes,
There's thousands upon thousands of those.
and I have to apologize.
All right. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking into, maybe we'll go that route one day.
I have to apologize to Tom Dacey because I missed his podcast on Sunday, and I did tell him to call in. So he already hates me anyway because I'm a Yankees fan and a Jets fan.
Okay.
So and he did mention he was going to run me over next time he saw me. But so Tom, I apologize, and I will make sure I get on the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a big weekend.
Right.
We had a good time. I know you got some stuff going on with maybe an event with PvP.
We have an event with PvP coming up. We don't have anything to go to this weekend, but the following weekend, it is that night where we go up to Massachusetts. We got to get a little bit more dressed up than usual, because it is time once again for the Golden Grappler Awards, the 2017 version of the Golden Grappler Awards. And this year, they are roasting AJ Cruz.
Like they're physically roasting him, like with carrots and like Bugs Bunny roasting.
No.
Or okay.
Right,
Oh, like a comedy thing.
right.
Yeah.
Like a comedy.
Unlike what I just did, which is not funny.
Right.
Now, see, I can see how they did last year's roasting of Billy King.
Right.
Although I don't know how they're going to be able to do this year's roasting of AJ Cruz, because AJ, we've spoken to him on many, many occasions,
Right.
and he's certainly one of the most gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. And it's not that Billy King isn't. Billy
In
King
the
is
ring.
more of an easy
Well, no,
target.
Billy's an easy target because
Right.
because he has some subtle flaws.
Right. Unless there's things about Mr. Cruz that we just don't know about.
Well, we're certainly going to find out.
We'll find out, to make a long story short. Let's just put it to you that way. This is at maximum capacity, 116 School Street in Chicopee, Massachusetts. We don't have to go nearly as far. We don't have to go to Hadley this time. We don't have to get off
Right.
exit 20. We don't have to. We have to get off exit 12, but we don't have to go to South Hadley. We don't have to go down as far.
No roundabouts.
Yeah, Dan.
Maybe
What time's the show?
7 p.m.
The roast starts at 7 p.m.
The award ceremony starts at 7, and then there's live music afterwards, and then the roast starts at 9.
All right, so
Okay.
7 o'clock it starts.
Right.
You need to have Jay leave at 4.
Well, I was thinking no, and Jay would 2:30, 3 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, he has no. You literally have no concept of time,
No.
because I've been with you where I've driven you to places, and I just go and I laugh. I'm like, "Come on, Jay, let's go." You're like, "Oh." So you have no concept of time, and
I'm a relaxed individual.
there's relaxed and then there's comatose. So, but
I don't stress over things.
listen,
Not too many things.
clearly not getting to places on time. But yeah, no, it's always fun to go with Jay and
Right.
get to these shows. And we did the Chikara thing where we drove about 3.5 hours to get.
That
to
was
it.
a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. We had a blast that time,
Right.
And
Jay gets upset when the lady on the GPS keeps telling him to go farther or turn left, and he misses the left, and he has to go 5 miles out of his way.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's definitely. Well, you got an iPhone. I don't know why you just don't use your iPhone. You got maps on there.
I don't do maps. Maps make it worse.
Clearly.
Maps make it worse.
Maps make it worse. It just
Right.
tells you, it's like, hey, Bozo, go this way. That's how it's, well, that's,
Right.
my wife programmed mine, that's probably why it says Bozo on it, but.
We have different categories here.
What do you got?
You've never been to the
I have not, and
Grappler
I'm
Awards.
actually kind of disappointed, because, and you said that's next Saturday?
not this Saturday, the Saturday after that on the 18th.
Okay, so not this Saturday.
Right.
The following Saturday.
Yes.
And most of the roast, if it's anything like last year's roast, is not suitable for viewing
No.
on public access.
The roast, we will show portions of the nominees accepting their awards. The roast,
No bueno.
we might film it privately for the powers that be.
Yeah.
For Mr. Cruz, if he would like a copy, for any of the other people roasting Mr. Cruz, but none of that's going to be anywhere on our social media. If it's on social media, it's nothing that we put on. I'll tell you right now.
And if it is, then most of us, or you guys won't be here anymore. I'll be taking over the show.
Well, yeah, all right. We'll have the Bill Thompson hour from now on.
No, it won't
Right.
be called that, I'll tell you. But,
The Wrestler of the Year, we have AJ Cruz, Brad Hollister, Johnny Idol, Billy King, or Jeremy Leary.
Richard Holiday.
This is PvP.
Well, Richard Holiday can still, get in there.
he's New York's finest.
New York's
You know,
finest.
And you don't have his T-shirt, so you don't get to talk about him.
Almost hit him.
Go ahead, Jay.
Wrestler of the Year, that's a tough call. I don't know who I would pick out of those.
There's a lot of good names on there.
There's a lot of good names. They're all good.
Yeah, there's at
I
least,
would, you almost wish you could just turn around and make all 5 of them Wrestler of the Year.
there's at least 3 on there. I'd be like, those would be my locks. But then you're going, how could you not pick that person and this person? So
Right. Tag Team of the Year, we got the Aristocrats, Can-Am Connection, the Closers, the Lockup, and the
Wait a
Masterminds.
minute. Wait a minute. The what connection?
The Can-Am Connection.
Rick Martel and Tito Santana?
No.
it was Tom Zane, I think it was, wasn't it?
Right.
I thought Tito Santana was at one point.
Don't ever contradict me ever.
Oh, Professor's getting snippy now.
It's the shirt. It's the
Right.
shirt.
Yeah, it is. It changes
give you-
his
I'm gonna give you-
changes his personality like that.
Curb stomp you in about 2 minutes.
Right. So you got some new teams in there. You got some established teams in there. Don't know who I would go with.
I don't know. I like the Masterminds.
Right.
Yeah, I like those guys. They're
I'd have to.
besides my one of my favorite managers is working with them now. So
Right.
who is
Oh. Sidney Bacabella.
That's it.
Right.
He's a genius.
The Genius Bar and the Masterminds are the 19th hole.
That's like the best trio, or not trio, what's
Got-
it, quartet?
It's got to be, quintet with
Quintet, I don't
with Sidney.
Clearly, I have not.
Right.
And in your wrestling collection, you have a one of a kind of a collection of 1,000 Sidney Bacabella action figure.
I do.
We should see if we can get him to call into the show.
We should.
We should. Maybe
We should.
Maybe I'll beg and plead.
Right.
You know,
Maybe as we head towards March 5th.
maybe we could do that. What
We'll
else
have
you got on there?
We have the match of the year. You have Johnny Idol defeats Billy King in the First Blood match. That was April 11th. Jeremy Leary defeating Tomahawk in a tables match, also on April 11th. Both great matches. You had the Closers defeating the Masterminds in pro wrestling's first ever exposed turnbuckle match
Oh,
on
yeah.
September 10th.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
That's a pretty good one. William King defeating Brad Hollister for the PvP Championship on October 22nd. Brad Hollister defeating Johnny Idol for the PvP title on December 3rd. I'm going with King's victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go with that too.
That crowd was electric.
Yeah, that was a very inspirational match.
Right.
And I can remember Billy's brother Nick being in the doorway next to us and actually crying because
Right.
his brother won.
Yeah.
Every person in the American Legion that night was just standing up.
Yeah.
You know, and the crowd, you knew what was going to happen. I rushed right to the ring with my camera.
Yeah.
I just knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was just one of those moments
Yeah.
in the indie wrestling scene, you know.
Although then you do have that other match where Jeremy Larry put running chicken through the table. And,
That
you
was
know,
really that was amazing too.
yeah.
It really was.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
what you
listen,
want to call
you're
them.
really not making any friends on this show this week.
Well, no.
I don't even like you right now.
Wow. Moment of the year, ZPB in his roast set last year at Zachary Pierre Boileau. Aaron Morrison returning after a year and a half of not wrestling.
Wow.
Johnny Idol defeating William King in a first blood match. To keep his career alive, Billy King becoming PvP champion, or Joseph DiNucci becoming the commissioner.
I still got to go with King on becoming the champion.
I think King becoming the champion should get moment of the year as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Right.
so.
Right.
Yeah, then he had that nice touching moment with the young fan out there too, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right. That was really touching.
yeah, another touching moment.
Right. I've never seen anybody on the indie scene do anything like that after winning a belt.
No,
That's-
you know, I saw the video of it and I was like, I thought that was pretty amazing.
Right.
So you know, and he was a good champion, and I met him a few times. And very nice, nice guy,
Right.
tough guy.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Breakout star Anthony Green, Corey Michael, the Kingpin Brian Malonis, Wrecking Ball Legursky, or Skyler.
Well, you've got to go with the wrecking ball. I mean, look
Yeah,
what
I think
he's
you do.
accomplishing. Look where he is now.
I think Wrecking Ball right there. Right, without a doubt.
Yeah.
If Wrecking Ball wasn't there, I'd maybe go with Skyler, but Wrecking Ball,
Skyler's a close second.
right.
Yeah.
Wrecking Ball would definitely, where he's going in the wrestling world, possibly, potentially.
Yeah, you know, I think he's got a great shot.
Mhm.
And the thing is that, look at it this way, it might be the best thing for him to go there, because if he doesn't, and then he comes back, maybe he's more angry. And
Right.
then you got to say to yourself,
Right.
he's just like, I'm getting every title I can. So
Right. And I'm going to go back and try again.
exactly.
Right. The most loved wrestler and most hated wrestler categories are write-ins, and the fan of the year is to be determined.
No, is it me? Is it me?
You're our fan of the year.
I'm your fan.
To be determined by management
Oh boy,
of PvP.
I'm sure they got a nice somebody good in mind for that.
60 seconds to go. Anything
and
quick?
certainly they got to have the national anthem singer of the year with Joanna Robinson.
Yep.
Right.
She's first class act all the way up.
Absolutely.
She doesn't get a lot of TV time, a lot of
No,
props, but she's definitely a first class act.
I will have to say that.
How much time we got left?
We got less than 60 seconds.
Less than 60 seconds. So do you want to say anything?
I'm all set.
You?
Well,
Make it quick. It's only 60 seconds. I got something.
you go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to know, I was watching some chaotic wrestling, and I think if the data is correct, if I'm correct, December 31st was Brian Fury's last wrestling match. And so he retired after that. He runs an amazing school up in New Hampshire. We've seen him a number of times. But just to give you a few names on the way of his retirement, who he wrestled: Cody Rhodes, Eddie Edwards, JT Dunn, just a few of the people he wrestled on the way out. So to Brian Fury, the Firebrand, we wish you all the luck, and hopefully we get to see you at some point in time at some of the shows in the local areas.
And that's great. We're going to have to wrap it up right now. I'm Hollywood J. Williams. Good night. Good luck.